So at 11 months old, I sneak up behind my puppy and I slit its throat. Right? Kill it quickly.
That'd be terrible.
My next surrounded claim is that everyone should aim to be vegan.
All right, if you would like to be the first debater for this claim.
Novak Djokovic, the best tennis player in the world, is vegan.
Yes.
Lewis Hamilton, the best Formula One driver, is vegan.
Okay.
In my view, the best drummer, Travis Barker, is vegan.
And I will actually come out and say that the vegan diet tends to be healthier. Absolutely.
Great.
I don't think there's...
B12.
B12 is one of them.
The tablet.
So B12...
You happy just taking the tablet?
No.
It sort of ignores it, right? So I'm not interested in sort of going tit for tat and going, who's the best boxer in the world?
Ali,
Either will-
Frazier. I could name you an entire bunch
but
of
given
boxers.
the population of vegans.
Yes. And you saying that everybody should aim to be... They're eating camels, are they not?
Sudan and the fish pescatarian diet was the most expensive out of all of them. So it's more affordable. If you're spending $10,000 on groceries as a house each year, you're going to save $3,000 by going vegan. The Christian Adventist study here in the US is interesting because they look at people who have got a similar religion, and it found that the vegans had 4 to 5 lower BMI points than the meat eaters, which would literally take you from obese to perfect.
The diet that I'm in favor of, and that I will mention to all my patients who are struggling with BMI, is the Mediterranean diet, which I'm sure you are very aware of. And eventually, if you don't treat it long enough, you will have nerve damage, and we've seen that time and time again.
Early onset Alzheimer's, all that stuff.
About 30%, if you're vegan diets exclusively, you are 30% likelier to have a fracture.
The actual thing is we think that the vegans compete at the highest level alongside the non-vegans, but the non-vegans, we think that dog fighting is bad, don't we?
Yes, we do.
So what happens when we kill the dog, we eat its flesh, and then we fight? Is that wrong as well?
The difference is one we raised as a companion and the other one we raised as food.
And that makes the moral difference.
It makes a moral difference because I need to feed my kids. Again,
do you think cockfighting's bad? Having 2 chickens with razor blades on their legs?
That's not what you asked. You asked, is it a problem to raise one at majority of it to
Brian
live?
Jennings and David Hay are all living on the moon.
Oh, great. There's 1 or 2 people you can name out of 1,000.
The worst death that it will experience, because when an animal dies in the wild, it's usually pretty ugly. It suffers a lot more.
So if you want to keep the population down, what you do is you kill females. You don't kill
65% males. So you're depriving them of 2 minutes of pain and suffering, but you're also depriving them of 6 years of life.
Right.
Yeah, I don't think reducing suffering is all that's important. You could blow up the whole world right now and that would end all suffering, but I don't think that's something we should aspire towards.
Another question I have, should children be vegan?
Yeah.
Why? Doesn't that feel like a bit of a risk?
So I try and avoid the nutrition game, not to dodge the argument, but to go when you're looking at nearly 1 million people and their health outcomes.
So for B12, it is a DNA precursor that helps synthesize red blood cells.
Yep.
When you don't have that...
Oceans are being destroyed, 3 to 10 trillion fish being taken out of the ocean. People complain about shark fin soup and because of the cattle industry or because of animal agriculture, when 80 to 90% of all species are going extinct because of animal agriculture. Again, we spoke earlier, God creates the world perfectly, vegetarian. It'll be vegetarian at the end of time. So I think that's a really strong argument. I also mentioned this a bunch of times. The University of Oxford study, 500,000 people. I think that's really strong evidence to say you don't need it. But the reason a lot of these people depend on meat, again, as I mentioned earlier, is because in 82% of the countries where they're starving, the main produce, which is the...
What I said was a place like Sub-Saharan Africa and Sahara Africa itself.
And my claim now is that everyone should aim to be vegan. But the reason why the overwhelming number of people, none of you are living there, it's not an excuse for anybody in this room.
You keep saying we. First of all, you don't know. First of all, the judgmental side of you is crazy. So we can't go on this date at all. All right?
Judgment?
But so here's the important thing
we're not too far away from each other.
We're not too far away, but here's the thing, is that I think about my patients, and I think about what is it achieved.
Everyone should aim to be vegan. Okay, I can't hide from the fact I'm a carnivore. But there's be too myopic or idealistic for your mission, because they seem like they're kind of a good ally for your cause, which is...
Oh, and here's why. So I am a third-year med student, and so I'm going to be a physician, Lord willing, next year.
In a sense,
that's the realistic part. Should aim to be. Not that everyone has to be vegan, and there is no circumstance.
And the problem with, and I think
what's affordable for them? What's affordable?
So affordable, but also,
so expensive
but listen,
to live here.
Can I?
Of course, sorry.